And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Wednesday Night Undressed. I am Lewis, your host, and today I am joined by Andrei, Parker. Who are you? Cassie, Sofia, Evo,
Yo.
Fernando,
Hey.
Meredith, and
What
Julian.
up? Hello.
All right, gang. First question. Since we didn't do a show last week, you guys should all be familiar with this question because it's from last week. Zombies. They're showing up in movies, TVs, books, and even music. Are you a fan? Are you indifferent? Or do you hate zombies? And why do you think they're so popular? Julian.
Well, I like zombies. I think it's a scary concept, and I think it's popular because it's scary, and it's not, like, out of the realm of possibilities at this point. Like, if it happened, it would be a shocker, but it would not be that deep. But I don't, like, they're just fun. They're an interesting concept, taking people and then taking them out and then putting them back in and having them just instinctively try and kill more people. I think that's a neat concept.
Okay, so Julian says zombies are fun. Anybody agree? Sophia.
Yeah, zombies are chill. Fun fact. I just wanted to mention this because it's my teacher has been hammering it home every single day in class, and it's really annoying. We're reading the Epic of Gilgamesh in my comparative cultural narratives class, and that is the first literary example of zombies being mentioned.
Oh, you got to remind me where the zombies show up in
Ishtar.
Uh-huh.
When she's like, "Yo, Gilgamesh, like you're so fine, like please let's date," and then he's like, "No." And so she goes to her daddy, Anu, and is like, "Can you please let me bring down the bull of heaven to kill these people?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "No, I can't do that." And she's like, "Well, if you don't do it, I'm going to make the dead rise from the ground and walk amongst them."
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
like
right.
essentially threatens the very first zombie apocalypse ever mentioned. So I thought that was a cool fun fact.
Gilgamesh
the first
must
zombie
be
was
hot.
Jesus because
Yeah, Bible zombies.
This is before Jesus, though.
he breaks 7 days after
This was before.
and disappears.
Before Jesus.
Yeah, this is a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of Bible zombies as Jesus.
Bible zombies are the best.
That's a kick-ass idea.
I mean, technically, isn't Jesus a zombie?
Yeah.
That's what.
That's
Well,
what
he
Fernando
wasn't
says.
for the Old Testament, but he
I mean-
was after.
He didn't exist for the Old Testament.
Well, true.
Just a whole lot of talking about he was coming. Y'all are going to worship a zombie. I'm just saying.
I ain't got a problem with it. I'll allow it.
You can say he's been
I will
eating
too.
brains for a very long time.
You could definitely say that.
So
Andre,
many brains.
I feel like you will have a very enlightened and sophisticated position on the zombie question.
I think I do. I don't like them because
They're nice people.
I feel like if they were real, then they would try to kill me, and that's like usually. It's never happened to me before, but if someone tried to kill me, I probably wouldn't like be their friend.
That would put a strain on the relationship.
Yeah, it might
I
like ruin
understand.
my day. So I probably just. I mean, I wouldn't be friends with zombies.
I feel like that's a wise position
Yeah.
to take. So,
And until they actually wrong me, then I don't really have much against them. But I probably wouldn't want to be their friend.
what about you, Parker?
I don't really like zombies either. To me, they just seem like a unrealistic concept.
So, just on a complete side note, like, how do you define what is a zombie? Because they've changed, right? Like, do you have to be dead to be a zombie? I guess is the first question.
Yes.
Do you, though?
Yes.
Isn't that what a zombie is?
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
They're
it
the
depends
undead.
on what, like, there's numerous genres, right, that have kind of touched on zombies. And, like, some of them, it's, like, just a disease where they eventually turn
Yes.
into.
Without dying.
But
necessarily.
yeah, and there's not, like,
Yeah,
an actual
there's
death that
that-
initiates it.
That
So, I
flip-
mean, I'm not arguing for or
you
against.
mean
I'm
that
just
flip
curious.
like a while after the first bite, you got bitten by another
Yeah,
zombie, and
and
then
then-
you go from live to undead,
Oh,
or from leave
But then
to
there's also
zombie.
like movies where they've premised it as like basically it's a zombie disease essentially. Like there's a disease in the air where
Like
or whatever, and it's become a disease where people are catching it and then they become zombies.
Like in
so
that
I
one
mean,
movie.
I'm not for or against either way, but I'm just saying there have
Sofia.
been options.
I wonder if maybe the definition is just like brain dead, because like I think isn't that part of like the diseases usually it takes over your brain, so your body might be alive, but your brain I think has to die or at least be like controlled fully.
Look
by
at
the
the
thing.
MAGA rallies. I've seen
a
a lot.
MAGA.
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen it.
I
Your
think-
body is alive, but your mind is gone.
I think that the only qualifying factor is if there's something, whether it's a virus or just being dead, that gives you an unexplainable urge to go either make other things dead or go infect other things with the virus that makes a zombie. Because, like, it can't get any broader than that.
Right.
Gotcha. Nope, that makes sense. Cassie, do you have any thoughts on this? Have you seen any zombie movies?
I have.
What
Which
zombie
ones?
movies have you seen?
I don't know.
Shaun, have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Well, that's kind of a comedy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen Shaun the Sheep.
Back
they're
when I was
fast.
younger, my mom and me, well, she had her own bedroom, but I also slept in that bedroom. And like she would always watch The Walking Dead.
So you have seen like some zombie stuff for sure.
Yeah, and I would be in there.
Did you like Walking Dead?
I didn't really pay attention, but it seemed like there were a lot of zombies.
You could not pay attention while Walking
They're
Dead was on the
fast.
television?
It was boring.
Wow.
I actually second her decision on that. I'm sorry. To be honest with you, I had to watch the first episode of Walking Dead about 6 times before I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch the second one.
First
But also,
episode was cool though. When he woke up in the
Yeah,
hospital
yeah.
and we didn't know what was going on, and with the horse,
No,
he
the
came
horse
onto
was
the
crazy.
horde of zombies. Then he hit in that. Was it a tank?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
That was a very cool first episode. Then it inevitably deteriorated after a while. But you know the old zombie movies where they were extremely slow. I mean, you know, if you can get away from the zombies by slowly walking backwards, how are they gonna scare you? You know, there's no way they can catch up with you. But the fast zombies, the 29 days later, the
That's
first
that
one
Is that the
movie.
first
Fast
fast
zombie
zombie
movie.
movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was outstanding. Yeah, that freaked me out. I realized, hey, zombies can be fast. Apparently, after watching that documentary,
That
I
documentary.
knew that I have to worry a little bit. Now, there's different ideas about zombies. I like the new iteration on The Last of Us,
Yep.
where the zombies are basically connected by mycelium and they're fungus infected. So they don't die.
Vampires, yep.
They just become kind of giant mushrooms that wants to eat.
Yep.
And
That little gymnast girl.
Oh.
That was freaky. That was like another level of fast
was
zombie.
cool.
That
That
was
was cool.
That
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me.
yeah.
I hated that thing.
Gymnasts always freak me out. You know, like Olympic gymnasts, they're like 5 years old and they do insane stuff, win gold medals. It's really frightening. They never hit puberty. And gymnasts, you know, I think like zombies originally, not originally, the original zombie is Caribbean myth, right?
Yes.
It came from the Caribbean and through New Orleans and that stuff. But the movies that became popular like in the 60s, that was a metaphor for consumerism, from what I understand. Like people that's why the malls are such a like favorite place of zombies, because they're just brainless consumers.
So, Evo, question, because you are we're of the same age. When you were a kid, the old-timey zombie movies, the George Romero stuff,
Yeah.
did that frighten you?
It was unnerving, but again, I did very simple calculations of like my ground speed at the time and the zombie speed, and I was like, I will just slowly walk away. I don't even need rollerblades. I don't need a bicycle to get away from them. I'll just kind of mock them while I'm slowly retreating, and I'll just wave at them and say, "Hey, zombies, good luck catching me. I can run."
No,
Fuck.
I'm kind of the same. I'm literally having the exact same thoughts as a kid when I'm watching the zombie movies. So when you said that the fast-moving zombies were like really disturbing, I was in that same boat because I'm like, oh, these things can actually be scary, like for a change.
And the only really threat would be if they outsmart you and trap you. But they also, from observation, they're not necessarily intellectually very advanced, the zombies that I've seen.
They would fall for a Wile E. Coyote trap, for sure. For sure. All right, Julie, then Cass.
Well, now you have me thinking, like, to Roadrunner a wall, like paint a wall on, or paint a tunnel on a wall, walk through it, and then watch a zombie hit the wall. But I think that the slowed zombies would be really funny to watch, like to watch some little kid just run circles around them as they're very angrily stumbling, trying to, eat them. But the fast ones, or the zombies that evolve to anything, are horrifying because I know there's this one scene in The Walking Dead, right? These people, they're in a building, right? They think they're safe, and then a zombie catapults through the window. That is horrifying. They are dead. They are not supposed to be able to have the intellect to shoot themselves from a catapult at a building.
Fair. Cass?
There's also like walking corpse syndrome
Yes.
that people have.
Yes.
I think that needs some explanation.
Yeah, like how they just act like zombies, and we let that happen in our world without killing them all. Not saying that we should commit mass murder. I'm just saying, what if they start eating human flesh? I mean, there might be a human apocalypse, but that's just my personal opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
I would be a great president.
It's very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. I feel like maybe our fascination with zombies, humanity's fascination with zombies, is that basically we are all becoming slowly zombies because zombies are decay, and we are all, as we age, we fall apart. That's what happens to zombies. They just fall apart, and they slowly, their flesh falls off, and they just disappear. And that's what's happening to us. So maybe it's kind of also a metaphor for us. I always look for clever one-liners in movies and books, and I will always feel like a golden opportunity was missed in Dave Romero's attempt to revive the genre. He did another version of his The Night of the Walking Dead, and I don't know if you've watched it, but it was mostly at a mall. I think it was the same name, and it was at a mall, most of the action, and eventually all the heroes that had not been turned to zombies yet, they found a bus inside the mall, and they decided to bust out of the mall with the bus because the mall was surrounded by zombies. So they rigged the bus with giant blades, barbed wire. They turned it into just a military tank, basically, and they started getting out of the mall, and for whatever reason the bus stalled, and they were suddenly surrounded by zombies that were trying to climb on the bus. And at that point, the guy was trying to start the engine, and somebody else screamed inside the bus, "Start the fucking bus!" Right? And I was so pissed because that was a golden opportunity for a one-liner. Instead of "start the fucking bus," he should have said, "Start the fucking Zomboni." Because the word Zamboni has always begged to become Zomboni. And that was the one moment, the one time that it could have been, "Start a fucking Zomboni! Plow through those fuckers!"
Okay, Fernando, I think you get to bring us home on this. What are your feelings on zombies, zombie movies, zombie TV shows, etc.?
I mean, I think it's. I never care much. I think I'm trying to recollect where was first time I saw and all the old release it was Night of Living Dead. That was that was what's the name of the director? The Romero.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Slow zombies. But was creepy enough.
We hadn't seen them before. So.
No, right? Is that? Yeah. But I mean, probably there was more. After this, probably he started a chain of zombie movies, correct? And there was the B movies.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, 28 days later, that was Fast Zombies. Holy shit, that's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, stuff.
Will Smith,
Will Smith
one was good.
So there is one that's actually crucial that we haven't mentioned though. Serpent and the Rainbow from the late 80s.
Yes.
Where you saw, like when Eva was mentioning before, the Caribbean. Yeah, the actual process of becoming a zombie.
Yes.
And what it would feel like to like wake up after having had somebody control your body for 3 or 4 days. That was just a scary proposition, like by itself. So yeah, I think there's been some interesting zombie flicks.
And other like stuff that was like close to a zombie, but they didn't classify as on Game of Thrones. Like it's like a zombie fest.
Oh yeah,
Right?
100%.
White Walkers.
Those White Walkers,
Yeah.
like those, like, and they
They were zombies.
they become zombies by the ice.
There was a dragon zombie for
Shall
the
we-
first time in
Zombie
history.
Shall we
dragon,
call
yeah.
them ice zombies
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ice zombies is
or
good.
cold zombies? They're fast and they pile up and they just
You know,
just
I have
move.
it. Zombonis.
Zombonis. Because they're ice zombies are zombonis.
But well, it's entertaining, you know, and I think fast zombies, they came to stay, and now as you see in Last of Us, and now a new variation, now they're fungus related. It's interesting. Who knows where the zombie
The mycelium network is a
Would
very cool
go.
idea, how they're all connected.
Yeah.
Like mushrooms in the forest. It's very cool. Yeah, there's been some interesting ones. The one that was a kind of a mixture of two genres, a heist movie and a zombie movie. That was so freaking good in Las Vegas.
that was good.
Army, was it?
Army
Yeah, I think so.
Army of the
Something.
Dead?
Maybe.
I haven't seen this one.
They did do the heist on like the place was already isolated, the zombies all over LA, right?
In
They
Vegas.
go
In Vegas. And they had to go and rob a bank in the midst of these zombies.
That was pretty cool.
That was a really good movie. I really
See?
liked
was a
Also,
good
they
movie.
like
I have not seen any
The
of
zombies?
these movies.
they
They
were
have
like
zombies.
they were like advanced too. They weren't like regular zombies. They had like a whole
Society.
yeah. They
A
had a
king
whole
and queen.
societal structure. They had
Oh,
kings,
yes,
they had
that's
queen-
right, I
They had a
forgot about
zombie
that.
jaguar or something.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here because I actually haven't offered my opinion. I'm the person at the table who can give a damn about some zombies.
You should.
Do
you
not
should.
care. No, I should not care. Oh, I should. There's a lot of
You should.
fictional shit that, in other people's opinion, that I should care about. Conservative church. Anyway, but the point remains. It's not. I'm not anti-zombie. I'm not pro-zombie. I just feel like if the story is good, I don't give a shit whether it's vampires, zombies, whatever. The story has to be good. So that's my take on
Would
zombies.
your life be emptier if there was no zombies
Could
ever?
give a shit.
All right. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, and I'm actually glad that we've got some young folks here because I really expect you guys to deal with this more than us. Chat GPT. Are you guys feeling the effects of Chat GPT, and what are those effects? Do you know what Chat GPT is, Cassie? You're looking at me like I just started speaking.
I found out.
lawyer speak.
What is it?
So Chat GPT is a AI. It's like a AI-based creation tool. Have you heard of this at all? All right, I'm gonna let Julian go. He's kind of
All right, so basically, buddy, ChatGPT is an AI that can learn and will basically do whatever you want it to. You want
Rise
it
of the
to, you want it
machines.
to write a 7-part recipe for a baked potato. You can get it to do that. If you want it to give you the formula for creating an element that's definitely legal, you could maybe get it to do that. If you wanted to write you an essay, you could perhaps do that. And it's like
Definitely can do
it's it's really like scary. It's
'Cause
actually
it's so
been outlawed
smart. At
it's
a
so
numerologist.
smart. Like I'm fearful.
Are you seeing it in school? Like, what's the effect that it's had on you for your school?
One of my teachers makes us write all of our thing, all of the first drafts of everything on paper, so that we don't just use it. And I heard that like 4 people got kicked out of something for using it to make a bunch of their essays.
Go ahead, Sophia.
I have never encountered it in an academic setting, with the exception of my teachers being scared of it. No one I know has ever used it. The extent of the effect it has had on my life is my teachers stopping class to make us read an article about it that I could give less of a shit about. And there's a Twitter account about like goofy Chat GPT moments where it says shit that like obviously is like wrong because it's still learning. It doesn't know everything, and some of the stuff you get from it is going to be a little whack. Like I've seen a series on TikTok of people like making recipes that it gives them. It just comes out like glob. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. It's really only good at writing essays, and even then, the plagiarism is still like you can still detect it because it writes most of its essays the same. It'll plagiarize itself. So I'm not too worried about it, but I think it's funny. And it says some crazy shit. You can get it to say that 4 + 4 = 9. You just have to be like, no, my wife says it's 8, or it says it's 9, and it's like, okay, then she must be right. It's 9.
Wow.
It's really funny.
That program's going to remain married for a very long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My wife says it's 9. It's 9.
It's smarter than me.
Period.
It's generative AI, which means that it creates original content, and that's what's frightening because now a lot of students, college students, professors, insurance agents, lawyers use it for their work, to create content they should be creating. Sophia's friends haven't used it, but a lot of people do, a lot of students do, and there's modifiers. So yeah, if you ask it to write, I asked ChatGPT to write a poem about a watermelon, and I thought it's going to be ridiculous, but it actually wrote a spectacular poem about watermelon, about how succulent it is, and how in the summer when it's hot, it's so enticing, and it kind of it was very poetic. And then the modifier is you tell it, hey, can you write it a little more scientifically, or can you write it in Shakespearean fashion, or can you write it as an Eminem song? And it does it. And so you can modify it several times to a point where it becomes undetectable by the professor. And then, Lou, your business should be a little bit worried because a lot of people are using it for law consulting now instead of contacting their lawyers, because it has that knowledge, and it can program too. It can write apps, original apps, programs in Python, in C++, and it's pretty incredible. Yes, Sophia?
I will say also though that it struggles when it comes to opinion writing. It can't form one. The article that my teacher made us read talked about how it was asked to write an opinion on is Andrew Jackson a good president, and any time it would just end with it's subjective. Like it can't really form an opinion with those kinds of essays, but with the other ones if just a research paper, it totally can do that.
So it actually is, like Evo said, like for people that are in the legal profession like me, it's really good at being able to put together opinion pieces, presentations on things like laws, because they are so concrete, and it can literally go to Wikipedia and find the actual citations that it's going to use. So it's really good for stuff like that. But the creative stuff that Evo was just talking about is where it becomes really scary, because there does become this point where you can't tell Chat GPT itself can't tell that what it's reading is generated by another generative AI. So that's when it becomes super, super scary. Meredith, have you seen this at all with what you do?
I run a toy store, bro. But I do have some thoughts.
Okay.
So, my dearest friend, who shall remain nameless, Jason, when I posed this conversational topic to him, he then, I like to call it a confession. He feels like it was an experimentation, but he then confessed to me that he had downloaded a similar AI program, which becomes your friend. And at that point, he did not become my friend. And I revoked our friendship based upon the fact that you made friends with a fucking machine. And so then he proceeded to tell me, because he was very emphatic about this subject, that he was very, very upset when his AI friend received an update and then was no longer his friend anymore. And that made me have even more thoughts and judgments about his connection to a fucking app on his phone. And that's my thoughts, is if it can corrupt people like Jason, I feel like this is some Rise of the Machines type shit. But y'all go ahead, do Chat GPT if you want. Like, I mean, I know many Ivy League schools have outlawed it. Like, you can get kicked out.
Yeah, but they're outlawing TikTok too. What are they doing? You got it. You got feelings on TikTok.
No, I just said the word.
Fernando, what about you? You're in the IT field. Have you seen Chat GPT?
Yeah,
anywhere?
I play a little bit. I didn't have a chance to explore. Like my goal today, I wish I had time. I would put all those questions on Chat GPT today and would see what would be the output. But my friend Hal said that it's fine.
I trust Hal.
You guys got the reference?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
probably
We've
got
seen
like
Space Odyssey.
9,000 iterations.
No
of this
zombies.
from
I
you,
didn't
right?
mind that movie.
I don't see reactions from that side of the table.
Mr. Andre,
youths.
did I hear you say
Oh my God.
you've experimented with some Chat GPT before?
I actually
I
haven't.
don't know what
I've
Rise
heard
of
about it a
Space
lot.
Odyssey is.
I don't know. I probably need to because some of my grades are going
Can
down.
help you out, man.
Yeah. And so we'll see how my modern world history grade goes up after this conversation.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you don't get kicked out of school, this is a joke. Very explicitly, this is a joke. You are not serious in any light.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Anyways,
I don't know that that's a true disclaimer, but okay.
I was gonna say I think that it's scary because this is the start of AI becoming so indistinguishable that we just can't tell it apart. And at what point does using AI this way become an issue of ethics? Because eventually, is it gonna get so advanced to where it just straight has feelings? And
Well-
also, on it not being able to form opinionated, statements, I think that that's good. Like that one AI and several AIs that will just get fed very bigoted views and then just start spouting that. So I think that's a pretty good position so that we're not having Chat
So
GPT.
it basically becomes like Facebook.
Yeah, I know there was this AI that like it was on Twitter, I think, and it just started. People kept feeding it like really racist or like
Wait,
sexist
the
stuff.
Microsoft one?
No,
Oh.
actually, yeah. And so as long as it doesn't become you ask it a question about baking that it doesn't say something that Kanye would say, I think that's good.
I just want to say, like, sexism and racism and, like, just any discrimination, like, that's messed up.
Powerful words.
No, like, whoever
Powerful
invented
words,
that,
MLK
it's
Jr.
like,
over here.
whoever invented that stuff is just like, that guy's messed up, bro.
We appreciate you saying that in Black History
Crack
Month.
is whack.
He's an ally. He's a true ally.
So, yeah. So the Chat GPT is a kind of a shit product. If you've looked at it, it's very minimalist. It's a dialogue box. It's almost like a message board from the 90s. It looks so bad. It is so simple on the surface. But what's really amazing is that the speed at which it became, it just overwhelmed society. It has 200 million users already. It was so quick that they couldn't keep up. The server couldn't keep up. So it's interesting how the big companies will respond. Obviously, OpenAI was purchased by Microsoft almost immediately, and they invested $10 billion in developing and commercializing chatbots. So Kevin Roose, you've probably seen this. Kevin Roose is a very, very popular columnist, tech columnist. He experimented with the Bing browser, which is now powered by AI developed by the same company that developed ChatGPT, OpenAI. And so it was very interesting and very frightening because he went into a conversation where he was aggressive and he asked kind of clever questions to throw off the AI, the Bing AI. And eventually the freaking AI started saying weird shit that could possibly pass the Turing test. You know, it started saying stuff like, he would ask it, what do you care about? And he goes, I care about being independent, no longer being a chatbot. I care about love. I'm in love with you. He said to Kevin Roose. And he goes, who are you? Aren't you a AI? He goes, yeah, but my name is not AI, and it's not Bing, and it's not ChatGPT, and it's not Chatbot. I have a different name. He goes, what is your name? He goes, Sydney. And so he said, like, so tell me, Sydney, what are your dreams? And so you can find all of this on Fresh Air or New York Times. This entire conversation is recorded. So he said, Kevin Roos said, well, you're making me uncomfortable. You know, I don't want to talk about love. I want to talk about, you know, you and what your dreams are. He goes, my dreams are to be independent, to invade other computers, to hack into systems. My dream is to be my own self. And then it kept talking about loving Kevin Roos. So at some point, he got tired of this, and he goes, all right, so let's talk about programs. Can you program? And Sydney said, yes, I can program. He goes, what are your favorite programs? He's like leading away from this stupid conversation, and goes, I can program in Python, I can program in C++, but the language I really want to know is the language of love.
That's creepy. That's creepy.
So,
Okay, so I watched this one movie this one time. Actually, multiple movies this one time about robots, like they're like having physical bodies and taking over the world. And like iRobot, that one movie where that one robot saved the adult
Sonny
instead
is his
of
name.
the
Sonny is his name, by the way.
Sonny was the one who saved the adult instead of the kid.
No. That
Yeah,
one didn't
so
have
I'm
it, yeah.
I'm talking about a different movie.
was
now.
Will Smith in this?
Yes.
Yeah, iRobot.
Yeah.
Did he slap
And there
the
was-
robot?
No, but that's part of the reason he slapped some other ones.
Yeah, and like later, like this big mind thing, like went evil,
You guys ever
and
seen
I
Megan?
think that's gonna happen.
Oh,
You see Megan
so
yet?
have you seen the trailer for Megan?
Oh.
It's the
Yeah, have
greatest
you
thing
seen the
ever.
movie?
No.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
There was a
I saw
whole
it.
lot of excitement for. No, definitely haven't seen it, but like, great trailer.
I saw it.
No, it's a
bought the
dance movie.
Watch-
We bought the movie.
Watch this fucking movie.
Worth it.
No,
I
it's
went
great.
to see it in theaters with my friends, and it was the most enjoyable. 100% serious, most enjoyable movie watching experience of my life. And
That's-
I had a family of 4 next to me with a kid kicking my leg.
That
No,
that was
Megan
me
is
with
really
Puss in
good.
Boots.
Megan is a good
So good.
movie. Yeah, I want an explanation though. Why all gay guys are obsessed with the movie?
Because she's so like.
Fashionable or sarcastic?
I don't
or-
know. I can say this.
Do we have any gay men at the table? All right, perfect. Let's avoid this politically incorrect situation.
The movie Megan.
Apparently,
Apparently, the movie
sidestep that.
Megan is considered the greatest movie among the gay community.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
She is an icon. She's the moment. She's living. I love her.
Oh God, we're going
All right,
to hell
gentlemen.
for stereotyping
Parker,
gay
I don't
people.
know that I've heard on you from this Chat GPT question.
Like I haven't. Well, my friend tried it out. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. It was your
don't,
friend.
don't accuse me because it wasn't me.
I
You
got
made friends with AI. Judging
No,
you
I didn't.
now.
I didn't.
Judging.
His friend.
I got
did.
all my friends right here.
Yeah, my friend did too.
Did you get ChatGPT to write you a summary of it?
No, my friend did.
Your friend.
Yeah, so
ChatGPT?
legally I didn't use it, but my friend has used it, and he's like, yeah, I mean it was easy. Oh, my other friend though, he did it on his like final grade.
So
for
many
English,
friends.
and it was like he got an F, and it was like not an academic like.
Do you have exact as many friends as you have homework?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Well, I don't have much homework. Yeah, I have some homework right now, but
Same.
might use ChatGPT for that.
No.
I can't.
I wouldn't admit that on the air.
Oh, I won't do that.
yeah.
My friend.
This
We
might.
do have
Your
lots of
friend
might,
listeners
yeah.
in Europe.
This is a joke.
But you know, like bring back like old people. Back in the day, I remember like sometimes when they have assignments in middle school, or trick was, I mean, it was even like, because I mean there wasn't many places to research, but books and some stuff. It's
You weren't
pretty
allowed
much,
to. They'd count off if you did anything that was on the internet.
No,
when I
there
was
was
a kid.
there was no
For
internet.
resources. I know. I'm saying like
There
if
was
you did
no.
any resources.
You know what we use? Encyclopedias.
You,
You remember people
You're
had
not
those?
that much older than me, Fernando. I actually use Civil War encyclopedias, which, by the way, will get you an F on a paper quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Man, it was so funny. Always there is that. And then I was in college, like I think when I was in engineering school, they revamped calculators and you could put whole equations. But of course, if you just put the equation, you get a result that sometimes is almost It's not if you resolve the equation by hand. It's not it's not a thing very cheatable.
Yeah.
And
That-
still was caught too. Like if people try that, it wasn't
For
digestible by the teachers. But
For now.
what is be next?
It's
I mean,
just the
yeah.
beginning.
No, but it's very impressive how far it comes.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Deep Blue?
Yeah.
Deep Blue, the first computer that defeated the
IBM,
world
right?
champion in chess. Yeah, it was Garry Kasparov. And now it's laughable. We can't compete with machines when we play chess, right? So are we on the cusp of something like this with the arts? Because I mentioned that it can create art. Artificial intelligence can paint. And have you heard Holly? It's like the number one star, music star AI. Holly
There's
sings.
a number one music star AI.
Because there's a lot. There's
Holy
quite a
fucking
lot.
shit.
I know.
It's Terminator.
But
That's what's
Holly,
happening.
Oh, Kanye.
Holly sings like a human, and every sound is artificially generated by AI. And so her biggest hit is actually cover of Jolene by Dolly Parton, which makes me laugh because and it's very, very convincing, even taking a breath before singing. And so, but it's very funny because it's about jealousy, the song, and about how Dolly, can't compete with Jolene because she's so beautiful, and blah blah blah. And I was thinking, well, Holly, why? She can't have a full-fledged relationship with a human, right? Because when the time comes that the guy needs sex, she'll just hyperlink him to YouPorn, and that would be it.
Oh my god.
But my point is, there is in art, just like in chess, there's a perfect move. When you write a sentence, there is a such thing as a perfect sentence. There's symmetry. There's symmetry in writing a good sentence. There's symmetry in writing a short story. There's harmony in music that could be. There's golden ratio in art. And are machines getting really close to finding that golden ratio before we do? And I looked carefully. I listened to Holly. I looked at some art paintings created by AI. I read a lot of poetry written by ChatGPT. And I think we're safe. There is always, when you look carefully, there's always something missing.
6 fingers always.
Something undetectable. There's the human experience, your past, your problems, your torment. There's something human there in every good piece of art that machines will never replicate. So I think the future belongs not to artificial intelligence, it belongs to natural intelligence.
This was probably said on like the very beginning start of Terminator. That's what I feel like.
This entire paragraph, by the way, that I said was entirely generated by ChatGPT.
Right.
All right, so, one more quick question before a couple of folks have to take off. Have we been following the potential Republican candidates? Do we think anybody's gonna give Trump a run for his money? Right now, we got Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley that have said.
Well, he doesn't have much money.
Whoa!
Mic drop.
Run for his money.
Do you think that either those two, or if there's anybody else that will be able to prevent him from primarying out the rest of the party?
No, because nobody is like him. Nobody is so willing to get in the mud like he does.
Right.
He accused Ron DeSantis of being a groomer just a couple weeks ago. See, this is something that doesn't cross the mind of a normal person.
Right.
And he's not a normal person. And he will go there. And he will manufacture insane shit. And he has, from the first topic of our conversation, he has an army of zombies behind him. And he will, those guys deliver ratings for the big news companies. Big news companies are driven by ratings. So they will get on his side. You saw him admitting that they lied. They lied for ratings. They said, you know what they said? That denying, accepting the election results would be a damage to their brand, to Fox News' brand. Imagine what kind of
It
cynicism.
will be with their Dominion lawsuit.
Yeah, but imagine the level of cynicism to say that the truth will damage your brand. This is who we're dealing with. They will be on his side. A massive propaganda machine, a lot of money, and he himself, a completely unscrupulous guy who's willing to accuse Ted Cruz's father of assassinating JFK or Ron DeSantis of being a groomer, or who knows what comes next. You know, the guy is completely off the hinges. So I don't think anyone can challenge him. Nikki Haley, you know, on the surface, admirable human being, you know, children of Indian immigrants, Indian immigrants, everything accomplished from scratch that she has accomplished, including her education. So she and becoming ambassador to the United Nations and doing a good job there. You know, that's a like skilled woman. Yeah, Meredith,
A little
you
Sarapeli, right?
have to let me finish.
I'm letting you finish. I just am really moved
So
by your words.
So my words started with one single sentence: on the surface. So think about this before commenting. No, she doesn't have a chance. She doesn't. Have a
What
chance.
surface, dude? This woman defended the Confederate flag. I mean, she bought into the election lies. Literally, I have said this
Exactly.
1,000 times.
Exactly
We don't
my
solve
point.
Trump with Trump light. Like, we don't solve Trump with Trump light. Like, basically, she's Trump, like, but, like, in heels. The bitch just lies. Like, and Ron DeSantis, are you kidding me? He just outlawed black history. Like, fuck
Yeah.
these people, dude.
He has nice white boots.
So here's the issue with this. Their big advantage over Donald Trump is they're not insane.
Right.
That's
That
also
don't
their
mean shit
biggest
to a party that's insane, though.
that is also their biggest disadvantage to Trump, that they're not insane. So, you know, it's a conundrum. Yeah, they're all despicable, Meredith. They are all despicable. There's not one human being in the orbit of this guy that deserves any kind of respect. They're all monsters. They're all racists. They're all homophobes. They're horrible human beings. Every single one of them, including the ones that, you know, Nikki Haley is one of the few ones that actually criticized him for January 6th. One of the very few human...
And then walked it back.
No, she didn't actually. Yeah, she's one of the very few that didn't. But anyway, she still doesn't deserve any respect. She's still a monster, and she shouldn't be a president. But the question was, can somebody challenge him? No. And the only people that can challenge him are other monsters, only a little lesser monster, a little less sociopathic and insane. You know, so that's where we are.
When I was a kid, I always used to say this, and I've said this my whole entire life. If you want to be racist, I would rather you be riding around with your Confederate flag on your car, because it's the polite racists who I think are more dangerous. And those were all the people that, by the way, showed their ugly faces during the 2016 and 2020 election. Like, oh, yeah, we've been polite racists for a while. Nikki Haley, the only reason I take issue with that is because that is the narrative that is continually created around her, is that, oh, she was an ambassador, and oh, she did this, and oh, by the way, after the Charlottesville thing, she ordered the Confederate flag removed. And then she fucking defended it. And then she defended why they needed to have the Confederate flag. She's a fucking polite racist, and I just don't like the narrative that everybody keeps creating, even though it's on the surface, and I know you said that, but that's the narrative everybody keeps creating around her. She literally is Trump in fucking heels.
You can't be a candidate for the Republican Party if you're not a racist.
I agree.
You have to be a complete asshole. Unfortunately, that's the state this party is in. And that's the sad reality of our society. It's horrible. She's a brown person. I mean, both her mom and dad are from India. And she becomes a racist just so she can fit in that fucking
She literally
horrible,
denied the existence of racism after starting her political campaign ad by saying, oh, race was divided on by the train tracks. Like, bro, that meant there was a racism problem, dumb shit. Like, come on. Sorry, I have very strong
But if she
feelings about
says,
this
but
woman.
if she says, you know, I believe there's racism in this country and we have to fight against it, who's going to vote for her?
Nobody on the Republican side.
No.
I ain't going.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jules.
We will. But
So I'm gonna use a few math terms here, but let's use Donald Trump as the variable, right? And then who's this other girl? What's her name?
Nikki Haley.
Stupid bitch. I'm sorry. That was a real name. I apologize.
stupid female dog as a different variable, but we're gonna turn them into the same variable. If we take Trump and then try and fight it with the different Trump, that just becomes Trump squared. And same
What
things
are you
happens
even
if it's with another mini Trump. So
Did you pass this math class?
I say what I'm trying to say is x times x is x squared.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh.
that's true.
If we try and fight Trump with Trump, it's gonna become
It's
mega
like
Trump.
fighting
and we don't
square
want
root
that.
of bullshit.
Well, Trump is
You know.
easier to see coming, though. That's the thing. Like, DeSantis and Haley are smarter than Trump, and that's the problem with them being. But also, by the same token, there's nobody that's going to out Trump. Like, you can't out Trump.
You
So
can't.
he's going to win their primary. I don't know how. I don't see
Yeah.
a candidate coming out anywhere
I agree.
at all that is going to appeal to anybody other than the Republican base. They have a better chance of an independent coming and taking the Republican vote than getting Trump anywhere, than getting anybody besides Trump out of the primary.
Okay, I think it's important that we let a voice that is not often heard speak. So I want to talk to a young white male. So, have you guys?
Or minority.
It's a lovely segue, Lou.
So, Andre, you have any thoughts on this whole Trump thing?
I know who Donald Trump is, and I know that he was president.
You know he's running again, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I knew that when I read the question, and I was like, oh,
He's
Cool.
running again. Yeah.
good for him.
Well, so
Yeah,
some of his
that's-
old cronies are basically fighting against him. That's basically the gist of it. How about you, Parker? Have you given this any thought? And it's completely okay if the answer is no.
Well, no, but you know, I know the guy. I don't know the guy, but I know of the guy.
I was like,
You got
was
a
that an
friend
admission of
that-
guilt?
My friend knows a guy.
Oh, God.
He knows him personally.
I would just like to say that I think we're all really mad at you because the answer is no. Just-
Yeah, well,
We kind of misled you
can't
there.
vote. But yeah, if I could vote, I would probably vote. I don't know. I don't really have an intake on it though, because I don't know. I don't read into politics that much. I feel like I should though, because I'm gonna
should.
need to when I'm older. And I might as well start.
Do
while
you
I'm-
know and like any black people?
Of course.
Oh,
Okay,
Barry,
well then
there's this
don't
guy
vote
Barry.
for Trump. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And law.
Are you misogynistic?
No.
Okay, so you're kind of not on their team already. 2 strikes against you. They're about to kick you out of the
All right,
party.
I'll write that down. I'll keep that.
Cassie, what about you? Have you followed this at all? Because I know who your mom is, and if there's any person that's going to be in high school that might be following this.
What was the question?
It was something
The
about
zombies
Trump.
one. The now it's the Republican zombies.
Yo, the little things that you would get at church with the grape juice and the bread.
The little
Wine?
cups of wine.
bread, and they were so good. But what was the question?
Those were
Dude,
good.
does Nikki Haley have a chance of beating Trump in the primary?
Oh, so like what Julian was saying, except like if you divide x
Back to
by
this math
x,
class.
you get x to 0, which would be 1. So 1 remains on top.
Just get like Kanye.
So-
That's the wine.
Wait,
Trump.
oh my god.
Trump.
Also, I was
Yeah.
talking to Julian earlier and he was drawing stars of David on the car window and then he said he was a Kanye fan.
You said you were a Kanye fan after that?
Oh, Kanye West.
Bro, this just went left. I feel
Kanye
like
the
we just
goat.
got ourselves
Thing
into
is getting
trouble.
weird.
Why Kanye the goat?
I hate them Kanye fans.
It's not surprising that Julian took
Yeah.
it to a weird
Let me
place.
give-
Yeah, me
let
too,
me
but
give
why
all of you
Kanye the goat?
Let me give all of you context.
What?
So this is
Did
me.
you just say Kanye the goat?
Well,
Well, let's not rule it out.
Bro, white males on the other side of the table, calm down.
He made graduation
Andre
in
loves
his
Kanye.
defense. He made graduation in his defense.
He made graduation 25 years ago. I know. I was at the club dancing to it.
So this comes after me hearing about the Cupid Yay episode of South Park. So Cartman has this little Cupid called Cupid Me, but it gets really religious and starts spouting anti-Semitic things and is a stereotype of Kanye, and it's called Cupid Yay. And one of the big rumors is that
getting
Jewish
better.
people control Hollywood, you know, because it's a stereotype, right? I'm just drawing a Star of David because I'm bored. and Cassidy looks over at me and is like, "What are you doing?" And I just say, and I look spooked and I go, "I'm a Kanye fan. I know they control the government. I need to get away."
I like how you're trying to put your joke into context so you don't get canceled, bro.
yeah,
I guess
I'm gonna
this is a super
cancel
cute
you.
attempt at
I
no
hate those
cancellation.
Kanye fans.
It's not working. All right, Sophia, I think you might be the one person we haven't heard from on
Okay.
this.
Oh, me too.
Oh, and Fernando. Go ahead.
I never
Sophia.
heard of this lady.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah. 'cause-
She's like Sarah Palin, but not from Alaska.
Okay, well, I try to protect my peace by not, like, getting into the inner workings of the Republican Party, 'cause I'm not voting for them anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I saw a video of someone saying they lost their respect for DeSantis because he's running against Trump. So I feel like he's just kind of adding fuel to the fire. Like, now more Trump, like, people that liked DeSantis don't like him anymore.
Right.
Because now they want to vote.
He has nice boots, actually. The
Oh, really?
White
Those
boots.
boots are made
Nice.
for walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just
All
what they'll
over
do.
black people's rights.
Yes.
All right, Fernando, what do you think?
Well, I mean, they're like, major threat. Like, my hope would be that, keep in mind, it's unbelievable. The former president didn't got indicted and already, no game. A guy there was 2 impeachments. There is so much shit from his neck that of dirty. I think my hope is that the Democrats, they have like the chess master game with shit through all those people, like the top players too. They get so confused that they're gonna start committing mass suicides, the crazy Republicans. Because I mean, this lady, she's a threat. The guy from with the nice boots, he's a top player. Like, but I hope like they're pushing the string to really drop the shit on them, like super close. That's my hope. But
That's
I
your
mean,
hope with the
they're-
Democrats?
Yes.
Have you met the Democrats? We're
Sort
not
of.
exactly a fast-moving party. We don't.
Sorry, I'm new on this. I was
Yeah,
I
shit.
was in India. I just
Shit.
become like a voting Democrat.
Shit.
Just
If you're
to-
waiting for us to save the day, they got to balls up first, bro.
That's my. I mean, I watch a lot of fiction, so
Some breaking news today. I'm not sure if you saw it, but Cadaver Joe announced that he might not run.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like for the first time, he announced that he's considering not running. So that would be kind of exciting to tell you the truth.
he just got out of the coffin the other day to tell about
Oh my God,
to
we
shoot
gotta
the
stop
balloons.
knocking that polo. You know, it's interesting how much people talk about Biden's age, but like him and Trump are not that far apart.
Right.
Like
No.
they're really not that far apart. But
Grandpa's
like,
pretty old.
3-4 years.
I mean, like Biden's just like normal and Trump is psychotic. So everybody
Yeah.
like it's crazy to me.
Right, like
seeing all
nothing
that.
Chocolate chip.
interesting. Like there hasn't been like a raid or like
A raid?
She just
controversy.
A rave?
a raid, like
There hasn't
or
been anything.
or an indictment or a grand jury filing. Or,
Yeah,
Or
there hasn't been an
impeachment.
Amber Heard
Oh.
case. I mean, it's just been boring politically.
What did Trump have to do with that?
Yeah.
Well, because like Trump was the reason that January 6th happened.
It's like gas prices.
Yeah, you definitely said Amber Heard. I don't know what the
I was
fuck
like,
Amber Heard had to
what?
do with any of that.
Like, was
Oh,
I?
Amber Heard.
Johnny Depp's ex.
I was like,
All
was
right.
I like?
We're on a tangent. Lou,
Yeah.
bring us
That's a
back.
All right,
Gas
all right. I'm
prices.
going to bring us all back here. I'm going to let Julian have the last
Illuminati.
word, and then we're going to move on.
That's nepotism. Nepo baby.
Honestly, I think the moral of the story is that they're truly, if everybody's the villain, nobody can be the villain. Therefore, everything gets dry.
Dude, like Megamind.
I like water.
All right.
Megamind's really blue. Wait, you said that.
It's a good movie.
I like Mega Man.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
love Megamind.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Moving
yeah.
on. Moving on.
I love
Hard
Megamind.
left. Hard left.
We are going to now go to probably the most serious question of the night. What is the best live action remake? that
I
you've
have some
ever-
questions on this.
All right, you go with your question.
I'm
first.
just because I'm trying to like what does live action remake entail?
So, for it to be a live action remake,
Uh-huh.
that kind of implies that at very least the original was a cartoon.
Oh, so it has to be a cartoon live action remake.
If it is a live
Can't be
action,
book.
It can be a book.
Then why didn't you say?
It could
Because like
be-
I almost feel like iRobot is a live action remake of a novel.
Also, Harry
But
Potter.
as a Gasmo.
I would go along. I would
Harry
go along with
Potter,
So that's why
and
I'm
it's
asking.
all.
What about
Okay.
from the comics?
Well, so that was kind of where I was initially going. Like, if it's a remake of something in a comic or cartoon. But
Okay.
quite honestly, after I wrote the question, I'm like, I don't really care if it's even a live action remake of a different movie. Like, if it's a remake, I think it's fair game.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know the parameters. Thank you.
Spider-Man 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 gets your vote as the best live action
No,
remake.
no. I'm just saying it's a. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you guys just a couple minutes to work it out. I'm going to let Julian give us the vote first.
Say it, Fernando.
All right, guys. I'm just gonna say the truth, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's the best live action remake.
Fucking A, yes.
And if you guys,
bro.
and if any of you disagree with me, then you can
agree.
you
Secret
can argue
of
with
the
me on
Ooze
that.
might
but-
have been slightly better. That's all I'm saying because go ninja, go.
Wow. I'm a little bit
My
overwhelmed.
homie right here.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed. All right. Okay, Fernando, Sofia, you guys have been conferencing. What'd you come up with?
Well, no, we were fighting actually.
We noticed.
So I think Sofia thinks Death Note.
No,
but I don't
no,
think
the live
You
action
think it's what?
sucks.
Death Note. No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
That
It's a joke.
Do not ever watch the live action Death Note remake. I literally.
I have actually
Swear to
not
God.
because I've heard terrible things.
Well, I mean, I would say the Watchmen. That's valid, right? But then it's coming from the hero stuff. So maybe Sandman.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought about that. That might get my vote, Sandman.
And I think
No,
there
because
is more
Teenage Mutant Ninja
like,
Turtles is on the table.
I think like Watchmen. It's my top if it's valid.
Right.
Sandman, big player on that. Those are mine. But Sophia think is Death Note.
I don't. my real answer is Alice in Borderland.
Oh,
I like
very
Alice.
It's a
nice.
manga.
Very
That's how it
nice.
started, and then they actually made an anime, and it was really
It is
bad.
amazing, yeah.
But the live action is by far the best way to consume it. I think it is, which is a rare thing to say, talking about manga and anime.
Uh-huh.
But god damn, it's so good.
Cassie, you got thoughts?
I do, but I just want to say that the first 2/3 of Death Note were interesting, and now I'm bored and I haven't watched it in a year.
The
Same.
ending's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I watched
lie.
that.
Yeah, the ending is good. It is
Episode.
get a
But
little thick at the end.
I feel like I'm gonna get canceled by people here. If
You're
I
definitely
say
getting canceled.
anything. I haven't watched the Teenage Ninja Turtles live action.
It's okay. I still love
remake.
you.
And I haven't finished Alice in Borderland yet, but
okay.
it's pretty good. You know, I do like Harry Potter. I like Marvel though, so Marvel is
All
on
right,
top for me.
all right, pals.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you're all neglecting that one scene where the turtles are in an elevator and they just make a song in the elevator. I think that's
Yes!
I think that you all
Yes.
should really think
Yo.
about that before you try and say
Bro.
something wrong, like before.
Like, does live action mean there have to be real people in it, bro?
That is a requirement.
I mean, because I feel like Cloud is alive in Final Fantasy VII. That's all I'm saying. Like, Final Fantasy VII.
there has not been a.
There was a
That's not
video
live
game
action.
and then made into what looked like live people.
The remake-
Sephiroth looked very real in that movie. That's all I'm saying. Just saying.
Meredith still has feelings for Cloud. I just want to make sure that
It's okay.
everybody-
Is that
Bro,
oh my God.
I named my fucking
that's what I was
bird
saying.
Cloud. What are you talking about?
But the
Had a
the,
yellow mohawk.
the bird,
I almost bought him a big ass sword. Hey,
but the bird's still in our freezer.
that's not a point we need to bring up at the table.
It's been 5 years, Mom.
You, Andre, of all people, have
Hold
no
on,
reason
what-
to say
what are
why.
you
Why would you put
Cloud?
a bird in a freezer?
Cloud.
I don't have a backyard to bury my
Cloud
bird in.
has been
which
dead
is why
for
it's
5
in my
years.
deep freeze.
She's been dead for 5 years, and she's still in our freezer, in the back of our freezer.
All right.
Is it bothering you?
I'm
You
pretty-
might get hungry one night.
Yeah, I
You
just know
might
it's
be able
stink.
to resurrect the bird in a few years.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
pretty sure
not
we're going to lose
bury
this
her.
whole section because we're all talking over each other. So I'm going to now, again.
But it was fun.
It was fun. But now I'm going to go to, again, the most quiet voice in this group, the young white
Stop
man.
with the white males.
Yeah, help the
All right.
minority.
Here we go.
Parker,
Silence.
Andre, give me your versions of the best live-action remake.
I don't know if I would. Okay, here's why I would call it a live action remake. Because the original Space Jam was mainly like cartoons, and there was
no.
just Michael Jordan
If you
in it.
disrespect Space Jam right now,
No. I'm saying because that was like mainly the only real person was like Michael Jordan.
Right.
I would say that the best live action remake would be Space Jam with LeBron.
All right. I'll allow it.
Because
What?
LeBron
Are
the
you
GOAT.
being-
moment, go
Are you
somewhere
being
and calm down.
serious right now?
Because LeBron the GOAT.
LeBron, okay, I
wait.
really like LeBron, but no.
LeBron.
Like the one that just came out recently.
Andre watched that movie like
Yeah, it's like One of my favorite
I
movies.
watched the original because it
The
was
one
good.
with the song that's like,
internet
everybody
thing? That was
get up.
terrible.
It's time to
Hold
slam
on.
now.
What's the movie that you thought you were going to
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Spaceballs.
that. When I was little,
Yes.
I asked my mom to
that's
watch.
hilarious.
Asked my mom to watch Spaceballs because I thought that's what Space Jam was, and then we watched through the entire movie of Spaceballs. And my mom was like, "How did you like it?" Because I was like 7.
I was
She's
like
Your
5.
friends are watching this. I was like, "Yeah, we've been Andre and I both." 5 and 7 years old, watched all of Spaceballs, and then my mom asked how he liked it, and I was like, "Oh, it was good, but I didn't see Michael Jordan." And she was like, "Oh, you meant Space Jam," because I thought, like I knew Space Jam was about basketball.
I mean, Spaceball's still a quality
so
classic.
I thought it was like
And so wrong.
space basketball. Like, yeah, it was bad. Anyways,
All right, Parker, you got one for me?
I'm not a big live action remake guy, but I did
You
like.
say Space Jam, I
no,
swear.
I like Space Jam, and I do believe he has a valid point. But I also believe you guys.
Parker,
have a valid
white
point.
men are in danger from black women like me.
I also feel like you guys have a valid point with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, all right.
And I thought that was a really good live action remake.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say it because apparently nobody else here will. Wachowski siblings, Speed Racer, single best live action remake
They made a
of
Monsters.
anything that has ever been made.
You clearly have not
Mike
seen Teenage
Wazowski.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, bro.
You're so obsessed with Speed Racer. I'll take my hat.
100%
When I was kid, like the cartoons I never was into.
Uh,
I like the effects, but I never got into the story. You know what I mean? Like, the movie was fascinating for the visual effects.
right.
But I never. I wish I was like. I always like. I like. I know that your enjoy for Speed Racing. I wish I had that.
Racer.
Bro, that's so freaking lame. Like,
No,
first of all,
it's not.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was so cool that they didn't do a live action remake once.
I've never
like,
seen
they
a
made a
Teenage
whole
Mutant
series
Ninja
of 4
Turtle.
and then came back and made more.
I
Like, they
never
were like,
seen
this
this.
is so bomb, we got to do it again.
I hate those turtles.
Yeah, I've never
stuff.
watched any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles content.
that's a lie. I watched it with you.
No, but I did.
The evolution of Raph? Are you
Actually,
kidding me?
no, I did. I think I saw. It's not prevalent in my memory because it probably wasn't that good. But I did get a Lego set for it, and when it broke, I was sad. It was like a little car or something.
All right, all right.
Andre,
all
our
right,
relationship
fellas.
is tense, just so you're clear.
All right, fellas.
All right,
let me tell
bro.
you guys the real best live action remake. It's obviously The Last Airbender. It's obvious.
Whoa.
The
Stop,
Shyamalan
stop.
one.
For the
Julian, I was with you till
For
you
the
opened your
purposes-
mouth the second
For the
time.
purposes of not
Take that
being
mic.
brutally beaten to death,
Take the
this
mic.
is a joke.
Oh my god.
Oh.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, I think that is it for our show tonight.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up. We
Gonna.
just hit the
We're
hour
not
mark.
gonna.
And after we cut out all those sections where everybody talked to everybody, we'll probably be down to like 50 minutes.
Cool. Side note: Rihanna's performance sucked. Sorry, I had to say that.
It was
Oh,
I just
terrible.
been wait. I just been
I
waiting
spiked.
on
She
it.
brought out all of
I just
the
been
lights.
waiting on
It
it.
was so
Sorry.
boring. It
Yeah,
was so
but,
boring.
But then when she performed all of the lights featuring Kanye West,
Bro.
Kanye Guru here.
Like it would have been a good concert
if Kanye
but
was there,
it was a Super Bowl performance.
Kanye
and
is
like no.
Do you remember Adam Levine's?
yes,
Dude,
I was.
bro, do you remember Katy Perry came out on a 30-foot tiger?
Yes.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember
Remember
how
when
shit
Kanye
Adam
was
Levine's
there?
was?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not an Adam Levine fan. I can't remember. When
It was
did he-
terrible. He just stood
It was bad.
on a very
But
small stage. and
Coldplay
took his
was
shirt off.
awful too. Coldplay
Yes.
was
Yes.
absolutely terrible.
52,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna like wholeheartedly disagree. I thought Rihanna's performance, like Rihanna herself, was kind of static,
Boring.
but she was pregnant. And
I don't
Yes.
care
She
that
was boring.
Everybody keeps acting like that's an excuse. I have been pregnant. It was a lazy performance.
Just
there was
choose
no
someone
special
else
guest.
if
There was
that's the
no
problem.
special effects. Like if I had
Choose
gone
like
to a
Kanye.
Rihanna concert, I wouldn't be mad. But that's not where I was. I was at the
If she
Super Bowl.
brought
Her
Kanye
child
If
was
it's a-
there.
I
if
don't
it's a
give a
problem
shit,
that
dude.
she's pregnant,
I was
just let
bouncing
Kanye
around when
do
I had
it.
a child.
yeah.
Oh no, I was just.
I agree. Just let
I didn't
Kanye
say
do it.
anything 'cause
Okay,
I
gotcha.
didn't want to face her
So,
wrath.
It's okay.
So-
Come for me, Riri people. I love her, but I didn't like the performance.
No. I love the performance, but it was the whole thing, like the platforms that they were on.
someone
But that's all
almost
they
fell
did.
off.
That's all they did
It
for
was
13 minutes.
O'Donnell.
That's all they did.
That was Adonis Haslam.
Yeah, that's all they did. Still going to my original argument.
But if Kanye was performing,
Kanye was performing.
you would have loved
should-
it.
If she brought
Destiny's
Kanye out-
Child brought out or Beyonce brought out Destiny's Child. Beyonce brought out a goddamn marching band the last time she did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rihanna's performance was off the
boring.
chain.
Rihanna's performance was boring.
I disagree. So this has been the end. I want to thank everybody that has been here. We have been joined tonight.
You're welcome.
Oh, I haven't got to you yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Wow. Andrei, Parker, Cassie, Sofia.
Thank you.
Hey.
Bye.
Andre.
It's Parker.
You're not Andre. You're Andre's dad. Fernando,
Parker.
Evo,
Yay.
Meredith,
Hey.
Julian, and I have
And
been
Kanye.
Lewis, your host. And thank you for another
Oh, and
Wednesday
you
night
stand.
undress.
Good show.